All right. Well, this says we're live, so let's get started. Hey, I wanted to come on here today and talk about something that scares most people, and that is making mistakes. Most people are just terrified of making mistakes. Now, we're going to get in and talk about that here in just a minute. But first off, I wanted to say I'm a man of many hats. And today, let's see here, I got a Facebook, or this is always backwards. I've got on a different hat today. So this will kind of give you an idea of what Jason would look like if I had a nice mullet kind of going on. And maybe I'm making a mistake by wearing this hat today, right? Because most of the time, showing up on live videos and doing things like this, you're supposed to look so professional because of what people might say. So maybe I'm making a mistake by wearing this hat today. I won't know until I do it, right? And so we're going to get in and talk a little bit more about mistakes. But I like to call this my Holden Caulfield hat. So if you're familiar with the book The Catcher in the Rye, that's what one of the characters actually wore a hat like this for part of it. So let's talk about mistakes though, because you are a high performer. You don't want to look silly. You don't want to make mistakes. I understand. I totally get that. But what if actually you have to make some mistakes to get to where you want to get to? And what if actually not making mistakes is actually holding you back? Chances are that's actually what's happening, right? And what ends up happening is usually the same thing usually happens for a lot of people at this point is they're afraid of making a mistake, so they just don't do anything, and they stay exactly where they are. So is that you? I don't know, right? I could have gotten up this morning. I'm wearing this hat because it's a little bit colder here in Los Angeles today. And so I wanted a warmer hat when I was sitting out back. So I grabbed this. Now, I could have come in and I could have said, oh my gosh, I can't just show up and do this video. I've only got a few minutes to do the video. I'm just not going to do it. Right. Instead, because I haven't shaved, in a day or so, and I'm wearing this funny hat. I could have said that, but then you'd be missing out on this video, right? Because I would have been stuck where I was at. I would have been afraid of people making fun of me. In fact, some people might make fun of me. If you want to, go ahead, put it in the comments down below. I don't care. But I wouldn't have done it. And how much of the time in your life is that exactly what happens? You're afraid of making a mistake, of looking silly. And so because of that, you just don't do anything. And you watch life pass you by. So one of the episodes that dropped on Jamming with Jason this week is mistakes are a part of life. Okay. And so let me go ahead and put that link to that here in the comments area. I gotta got so many windows going on here. There we go. So you can actually go back and take a look at that because what we find, especially a lot of people that I work with or deal with in my profession, they're just afraid to make mistakes. They feel like they have to be perfect all the time, and that puts a tremendous amount of anxiety, fear on us that we don't really need to have, right? And instead, if we just show up, we do something, then we're going to get feedback. We're going to find out whether that was a mistake or not. Because the reality is, for you to get what you want in life, you have to pay the price. Nothing is free. Okay. You're going to have to invest time, money, and sometimes invest in looking silly at the same time, or maybe making some mistakes, because it's really from making those mistakes that we actually learn. Now, if you're making the same mistakes over and over again, that's different, right? But again, usually in order to get what we want, we have to be willing to make some mistakes. So go check out that episode. We get in and talk a lot more about that there. Now, I also wanted to talk about something else, because Friday's episode was on keep calm and carry on. Okay, now that comes from an old British marketing campaign from the Second World War. You've probably seen some of the little things, the images and stuff from that campaign, because it's kind of become a part of pop culture today. And so let me go ahead and I'll put that link in the chat as well, so you can go back to that directly. And one thing too, these links that I'm putting in here, you can actually listen to it in audio format, or you can actually watch a video as well. So if you're one of those people that prefers to watch videos instead, then go ahead and watch the video because it's there. Okay, so let's talk about that, because again, one of the things around making mistakes that I was talking about is sometimes we get so stuck in our head that we're overthinking, and we're afraid, oh my gosh, I don't know what I should do. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? Which one is the right decision? And if I make the wrong decision, then I'm going to look silly, or I'm going to look funny, right? I'm going to get made fun of. And so we don't do anything, right? Well, another thing that happens to us a lot of times when we get stuck in our head is we overthink. We try to overanalyze, and we feel like we have to react to everything. Well, the purpose of that episode, Keep Calm and Carry On, is to talk about, look, you don't need to be responding and so worried about that. In fact, most of the time, if you keep calm and carry on, things will end up working out exactly as they need to. But so much of the time, again, we get into our head and think, oh my gosh, I got to fix this. I got to control this. I got to blah, blah. I got to. Whew. Try to say that early in the morning. Okay. When in fact we don't. And so what ends up happening is we create a bunch of anxiety and fear and frustration in our life when a lot of the times we don't need to, right? And so again, that's what that episode is about. In fact, in that one, I actually pull out the guitar. Well, there we go. That guitar, and actually play a little bit, because there's a little song for you to kind of think about and help you remember that as well. Because most of the time, again, most of the things that we're freaking out about aren't really a big deal. And so if we can learn to be calm and just work ourselves through it, things usually work out exactly as they need to. Okay. So anyway, that's what I wanted to come on today. Like I said, I've got a few minutes before I had to get started with the rest of my day. Wanted to show off my new hat. So tell me if you like the new hat. I don't know that I'll be wearing it that much. But I wanted to also show you that it's all right to just show up and be who you are. Today, this is who I am. I'm a little cold. I'm wearing my sweater. I'm wearing my hat. And it's perfectly okay. So there we go. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to head off for the rest of my day, and I'll catch you on the next live. Have a great rest of your day.